Yo guys, what is good? Zakaragi back at it again, and today we have a performance review for the Jordan Zion 3. So these shoes, man, they had potential, guys. They had so much potential to be a better version of a Kobe like this right here, but there's just one thing about them that ruined the entire shoe and that really disappointed me. So without further ado, guys, let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's get straight into this review. And starting with the traction, and it was the worst feature of the shoes. Like, man, how does a brand mess up traction this bad? Like, how do you go through a wear test process and design process and not realize that, oh shoot, the shoes can't grip well when there's dust present on a court? Like, I don't know how a brand just, oh man, guys, I'm just so disappointed with these. Like, I was playing on a really dusty court today, and even after we swept and everything, it was still pretty dusty, and these things just could not grip to save their life. Like, you'll see me try to dribble around and just try to practice some moves, and I literally fall because of how bad the traction is, and I can't even pick myself up or catch myself because these things just won't grip the floor at all. Like, it's ridiculous. But I will say, if the court is lightly dusted, or I guess moderately dusty, then you still can get a certain degree of grip, but it's still not going to be the greatest thing in the world. I'd really only recommend these if you're playing on the most pristine court possible. But other than that, if you even play outdoors in them, like, I didn't exactly play outdoors, I just shot around in them, but the translucent parts here of the outsole are already starting to fray, and that's just for me messing around outdoors a little bit in these. So I can't even think that playing outdoors in them is going to be a good option just because of durability issues now on top of the performance overall. So that's just the one thing that really bothered me about these shoes, but that's the only negative I can say for this so far. So let's move on to the cushioning. So as far as how the Formula 23 drop-in midsole performed on court, so you're not really getting a whole lot of overly abundant step-in comfort when you play in these or just try them on to begin with. So this foam setup is more firm and more stable, similar to what's featured on the Luka 1 or Luka 2. So you're not really getting a lot of give or compression when it comes to these. Like, it's a really firm and dense foam setup here. So I just wish that it would be a little bit more plush and forgiving on foot, because you're really only getting most of that bouncy and responsive feeling from this zoom unit in the forefoot, which I love, by the way. It is amazing to play with and it feels awesome to jump up and down with. You're getting good impact protection from it as well, but it's really the best part of the drop-in midsole. The Formula 23 foam itself is a little bit lackluster in my opinion when you start playing in them, because honestly, if I were to rank the whole drop-in midsoles that are featured in shoes based off the ones that I played in, the Formula 23 foam right here would probably be at the bottom of the list. So honestly, there is some room for improvement. I'm not mad at it because it still gives you adequate comfort, but if you are the type of person that might need some more cushioning with their shoes, I wouldn't exactly recommend this, because it's not even like a thick piece of the Formula 23 foam either, and just given how firm it is, it doesn't really feel very plush. So would definitely recommend other drop-in midsole setups if you are someone that needs that more cushion. But if you don't mind that and you got more of a low to the ground type of cushioning with some bounce in the forefoot, then obviously go ahead and try these on out if you don't mind the shoes having terrible traction, of course. Now, when it comes to the heel to toe transition, I thought it was good. That's mainly due to the fact that the outsole is rounded out closer to the heel area, which makes that transition nice and smooth. Moving along into the materials, and I really enjoyed playing in these because the textile used is lightweight and doesn't need any break-in time whatsoever. They're good to go right out the box. They're also pretty comfortable as well, because we got these pillows at the back here that feel awesome. They're nice, soft, and plush. And then the tongue is nice and padded as well, which helps to relieve some lace pressure when you tie these up nice and tight. So what I really enjoyed about playing in these would have to be how the material materials are also pretty supportive as well. So on the lateral and medial sides of the shoe, they're really reinforced, which was great. So I didn't have to worry about bursting through my shoes as if I was Zion at Duke. And I thought it was a smart move from Jordan Brand to do this, because given that you're using a lighter weight underlay with the textile material, having a more reinforced medial and lateral side of the shoe is necessary for a guy like Zion and the way he's built and the type of game that he plays as well. Now, diving more into the support of the shoes, and it's my favorite feature overall when playing in these, because no matter what I was doing on court, I felt like the shoes were keeping up with me and making sure my foot was nice and contained, as well as supporting it in every type of movement I was doing. So what really made the support what it is would have to be these outriggers we have here. So we have a traditional one, which is closer towards the toe area, as well as this midfoot outrigger as well. So this really helped in the lateral movements and ensuring that you don't have any rollover, so you wouldn't potentially roll your ankles, as well as providing a nice base for your foot as well for pushing off laterally as well. And what really made the support on these shoes what it is would have to be the reinforced panels on the side here, because what we have is this midsole riding up towards the materials and ensuring that your foot is contained, as well as this TPU wing right here that extends also to the medial side as well. This really ensured that your foot was nice and contained on that heel area as well. And speaking about the heel area, we have a nice and sturdy heel counter back there, which is great for when you're tying up your shoes, and it keeps your foot into place back there. So the drop-in midsole also has some supportive features, which is this midfoot shank plate, and it really added that torsional support and rigidity, which was great when you play in them. When it comes to the lockdown of the shoes, it was amazing because this lacing system does a great job of securing your foot into place and pushing it back into this heel counter so that the support can do its thing right there. And I didn't really have any issues with having to retie my shoes or the laces coming undone while doing any type of movement on the court, so that was also an added bonus to the lockdown. Another thing I really enjoyed about the Zion 3s would have to be the fit of the shoes, because although it is narrow, it definitely felt more like an extension of your foot because you're getting a one-to-one fit. So if you were to grab a pair of these, I would recommend going a half size up if you are wide-footed, but if you're narrow-footed or regular width-footed, definitely go true to size, because getting that right fit will ensure that you're getting the most out of the lockdown and support of the shoes. But overall, guys, the Jordan Zion 3 has to be the most disappointing basketball shoe that I've reviewed so far this year. Like, I was so hopeful these things were going to be beasts on court. And just like Zion, you know, everything about his game and the way he plays is amazing, but there's just one thing that is holding him back, and that's his health. And that's the same thing that goes with these shoes, right? Everything else is good about them except for that one thing holding it back, which is the traction. So I guess the shoe reflects the player. So comment down below and let me know what you think about these shoes, and if you played in them, share your experience in the comments down below. But we're at that point in the video, guys. Now it's time for hashtag Zacharagi, what you rockin'. So for today, I got the Kobe 8s, as you saw earlier in the video, one of my favorite Kobe models of all time and favorite shoes to play in of all time as well. So that is it for today, guys. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm signing out. Peace.